And the last Monday in February, we are off for our noon walk. So, what is new? This past Friday, between Friday and Saturday night, there was actually snowing going on here. But basically we had only like a centimeter or perhaps an inch of snow, and everything melted by the Saturday night or perhaps Sunday noon on some places, in some places. But it has got a little bit colder than previous week. Last week we had, 12 degrees plus degrees in noon. Today, currently it's 5. And in the morning it was so cold that couple of puddles were completely frozen. So, yeah. Regarding Liza, nothing. We are going for walks as usual. But of course, in major international news, all know about the Ukrainian war or war in Ukraine. Of course, that has been going on for almost a decade now. So yeah. Naprídi.
No, that's okay. I love that.
Naprídna eka. Yeah, she had to sniff home. A foreigner. She was intrigued. Fortunately for us, he said it's okay. He loves dogs. So yeah. Speaking of Ukraine, yeah, unfortunately, Russian aggression, Russian invasion happened, or escalation of the Russian aggression happened. Regarding the proximity or distance, so from Slovenia to the closest Ukrainian border is about 500 kilometers. To the furthest point is, I think, more than 1,000 kilometers. So yeah, Ukraine is quite a big country. Yeah, but here in the, let's say, in the concept, you don't have actually idea how close or afar are the countries, and then you just realize that between us and Ukraine is actually only one country, and Liza is going number 2. As I was saying, between us and Ukraine is actually only one country. If you go, let's say, the nearest distance, considering there is only Hungary between us and Ukraine. Fortunately for us, Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, Romania, that are also bordering on Ukraine, all of those countries are NATO countries. We are also members of NATO, so that goes in our favor. Slovenia has already, during the weekend, has already shut down the air space for any Russian-owned, Russian-registered aircraft. Of course, the other EU-wide sanctions are already in force here. So yeah, we have, let's say, I believe at least 1,000 people from Ukraine and Russia living here. So we have, let's say, a substantial diasporas. Ukrainians had already started during this week to collect, donations and help to transport to Ukraine, non-perishable foods, clothing, I don't know what else. Of course, our Red Cross, Caritas, Lizika also started. And they had, I think, already sent the first monetary help there. Slovenia has already sent some. Slovenia as a country, so governmental assistance has already sent some civil defense related material, I think blankets, electric generators, the sleeping bags, masks, and some other things. I think that they are also already planning to They are already planning for the second batch of surgical masks and so forth, and most likely medical equipment or material to send. Yesterday our defense minister also told that the Slovenia will be sending military equipment, military help, basically weapons and ammunitions there, mainly assault rifles from our storage, so basically so-called strategic reserve weaponry. Liza. Basically several years ago Slovenia switched from Kalashnikov type of rifles to the more modern. Liza, stoy! She's in such a hurry. With more modern one, according to the NATO standard. So we have, a large reserve of this Kalashnikov type, Yugoslav-made automatic rifles, sniper rifles, machine guns, and so forth. And we have been previously also sending, to Afghanistan, Iraq, and so forth. And of course because they are Ukraine, the former Soviet Republic, they still use the same, caliber of weapons and so forth. So that makes it easier for them to use. Yesterday also our interior minister said that Slovenia is willing and able to accept about 200,000 Ukrainian refugees, which is admirable action, but honestly speaking, I don't know where they would be housed, unless he is considering, all the now empty military barracks. So Slovenia doesn't have any more mandatory, military service, but we have a full professional army, which resulted that a lot of our military barracks are basically empty. A lot of the space where there were, dormitories were then converted into offices, but a lot of space is still, unused, because majority of the soldiers and, non-commissioned and commissioned officers are staying at home because Slovenia is so small. Not a lot of them are basically, we don't have military bases as you have, like in United States, with whole families living in military property. We don't have like that. But of course, but that is only couple of thousand people, let's say, at most. Unless he was also including, state also owns quite a large, number of apartments, vacation apartments, vacation houses, houses for school vacations, for such like things. And if you take into consideration all this housing plus, let's say, regular hotels, motels, B&Bs, then perhaps we can go to the 200,000 people to accommodate, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Regarding anything else, well, we have one Russian-owned bank here in Slovenia, Sberbank, so a subsidiary of their Central European subsidiary, and basically this company was already in process of sale to another Slovenian company, which is actually owned by a Serbian company. Lizi, tukaj greva, ne smemo tam. Liza. But today have already explained, due to EU-wide enforcement against some Russian banks, they have a limited availability of operational availability. So basically, customers can only use their credit cards. No other bank services are available for them. But yeah, Russian banking presence in Slovenia was never large. Okay, I don't know why we are going here. There was one interesting piece of information that was released during the weekend. So due to all this embargo and restricted, economic cooperation with Russia, Russian military industry is having a hard time of producing more ammunition, shells and so forth. And one of the reasons is also that one of apparently major suppliers of necessary material for military hardware was also Slovenia. So that was interesting to know. Apparently the other two countries are Estonia and Germany, which Germany of course is major arms dealer, arms manufacturer, but Estonia, Slovenia not so much. But apparently we have some things that Russia need for making more weapons, or at least ammunition. So yeah, Russia owns, basically our Russian company owns Slovenia's largest heavy metal company. Well, I think that it's it used to be the largest, but then some bad luck, some bad business decisions by the managers, and then it was of course sold. So yeah, basically that's it. The only thing that I am basically really concerned about is if there would be that there is a possibility of Russian nuclear option, even if limited. Yeah. Because you know, now also with Chernobyl going on, you know, they have already sensed that there are elevated numbers of radiation in the vicinity of there, and due to all the increase, you know, military activity, driving around, you know, all the dust is going up in the air. And yeah, I still remember as a child regarding Chernobyl disaster, we weren't allowed for several years later, you know, to go mushroom picking or something, or any kind of yeah, mushrooms were the biggest concern regarding, you know, their ability to store radiation. But yeah, hopefully this will not happen this time. Okay, this is it for now. We are just going around, and Liza is doing her business, doing her sniffing. So yeah, that's it. We will see you later. Thanks for watching, and bye.